Hey folks, welcome to the channel. Hope you had a good new year, and we finally have some updates to the way that Instagram is going to be shown on your phone. So the home feed, the way that you see Instagram, the way that it scrolls past is about to change, and this is something that I'm actually really excited about. So first, let me show you what these changes are, and then most importantly, let's talk about what this means and how this matters to you, and finally, how this matters to us photographers.
In the future, we're looking to have 3 different feeds in Home. The first we'll call Home, which is the Instagram experience you know today, where we rank content based on how interested we think you are in each and every post to try to make the most of your time. The second feed we hope will be called Favorites. It's a subset. It's a list of accounts that you want to make sure you don't miss things from. The third we're calling Following, and it'll be a chronological list of posts just from accounts you follow, because Home is going to have more and more recommendations over time.
So essentially this means that your Instagram feed is about to change into 3 different feeds that you can select which one that you use by default, I presume. So the first one is going to be Home, and as he said, this is basically how you experience it right now, but there was a clue in there, which we will talk about in a minute. The next one of these is Following, and as he said, this is going to be in chronological order. So this essentially gives us the old Instagram experience, and so I made a video a few kind of weeks ago talking about what this could mean and how if people are suddenly seeing people that they didn't realize they were following, now that it's chronological, we could see much more unfollows. So all of that still applies. But the important thing is here that in the Following feed, we're going to get a really different experience, and I'm going to be really interested to see how people react to this and how people kind of enjoy this chronological feed that you're in full control over what you see. So the next feed that we can see is Favorites. Now it's important here to note that you can also manage your favorites. So this isn't favorites determined by the Instagram algorithm. This is favorites determined by you. I think this is similar to the sort of close friends section of stories. Now, as I said before, as people discover in the Following section that they are following people that they probably weren't aware of before, and they start to unfollow, the favorites section may actually stop this from happening. It may be that your tolerance for people that you don't really know is a little sort of lower in the Following section because you can pick favorites, and that might be the #1 place that you go to scroll Instagram. So let's talk about what this change actually means for us as creators and then specifically photographers. Now, one important thing to note here is that the home section is not staying the same. He did give the example of that the home section is as you know it now, but it is not staying the same. As he said in the reel, they are going to move more recommendations to the home screen. Now, I have a suspicion that they're going to make the home screen on Instagram similar to the home screen on TikTok, where it is completely curated. I have a video coming about that exact subject, and that's where I think this trend is going, that the home feed will become more and more curated based on recommendations, much like TikTok is, and then people will be expected to move to the Following section, again, just like the way TikTok works. The content won't be the same as TikTok, so it won't necessarily be video, although, you know, we know where Instagram is going. But the point is that the home screen is likely moving towards fully curated. That's just my opinion. But as a result of the home screen kind of becoming curated, that gives much more real estate to the kind of discovery posts, the ones that you see that aren't from people that you are following. And as a result, the flip side of this means that it's quite possible that if you create posts that do really well, that there is more chance of these blowing up and reaching people that don't already follow you. Now, I think it's probably going to be more important, but also more possible to form a deeper connection with your followers. Now, I'm hoping that we don't get lots of call to actions like, hey, if you like my content, consider adding me to your favorites list. I'm not sure that that's going to be something that feels right on the platform, but the point is that if you are someone that a lot of people enjoy content from, you are likely to end up on more people's favorite list. Now, I wonder though whether the favorites list will actually kind of become buried in the UI, where most people are just on the home screen anyway, and if you become a favorite, doesn't really matter. We'll just have to see, or maybe Instagram will implement a way of kind of prompting you that your favorites have posted, like with a little notification thing, like on TikTok. So let's quickly move on to how this affects us as photographers and artists and kind of people who have been negatively affected by Instagram's change towards video. Now, we know that still images don't get as much reach as video does, specifically Instagram Reels. But what this new change means is that people have much more control over their feed. This means that we don't have to rely on Instagram to know that our followers should see our content. It's in the hands of the followers themselves. So that means that our kind of little pocket of Instagram where still images are very, very important is kind of protected here, because if someone really wants to see your content, now there should be more chance of them seeing it, and they should be able to decide to have you on there. So with these changes, it should be in the hands of the kind of user of Instagram to decide who they want to see. And as a result, it kind of takes the blame away from Instagram. So if your content is not being seen by your followers, there's probably things that you can do, but you probably can blame the algorithm a little bit less. Another thing to note, and this is photographers, but also just general users, is that if people start to use the sort of following section, which remember is chronological, that will mean that the time that you post becomes much, much more important than it probably is now. So Adam Maziri has said that this test is rolling out now, and it should be sort of being tested over the next few weeks, and they hope to have the full experience out in the first half of this year. I'm personally really excited about what this means. When they said that they were going to sort of start testing chronological, I wasn't too excited about it, I'll be honest. But the fact that they've sort of mixed it in with a following and a more curated home feed actually makes me feel like that idea is much better thought out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they implement it. Let me know in the comments if you've spotted something that I haven't, and let me know whether you're excited about this change or whether this is something that you think is going to negatively impact the kind of photography community. And remember, if you found this video useful, it helps me out if you hit the like button, and if you're one of my subscribers, I will see you in the next video. Take care.